What a good question. At what point do we release less and are at a level vibration? Well, the thing of it is, let's define level vibration first. So, we have the low frequency and we have the high frequency, and we're working our way up the scale. But what you have to remember is our physical energy field has a frequency, our emotional, mental, and spiritual energy fields have a frequency, and we have many fields past that. We just talk about those, but there's many other energy fields out beyond that. Now, they all each have a frequency. So, however our emotions are running, we can either be very low frequency or we can be at a higher frequency. Now, you have the relationship with your inner moral code. You have your relationship with your physical body. You have your relationship with your inner child, with your intuition. We have all these inner relationships going on, and they all have a frequency. So, what we would describe a level vibration.
We really managed one energy level.
But that's how complex we are.
No wonder I can't get it right.
Well, and you have, so if we have one of them up here, one of them way down here, we have them everywhere. What we would call a level vibration is being able to be in your personal power, know your energy field well enough so that you pull these in so they're within a much smaller variance than a big wide one, so that you're not jumping everywhere. You bring it in and you're able to control it because you know yourself better, and you're able to keep everything in a more level vibration. Now, as far as releasing less, when I started my journey, I had already been working on stuff too when I actually got the environmental illness, but it took me 7 years of very heavy concentrated work to get well. If I was to start today doing that, it wouldn't take near that much. It is also very, very, very dependent on how much stored emotion you have. Some people only have a small amount, and the younger ones coming in are not storing as much, and they know what needs done. However, many of them get trapped in situations where they end up having to store in order to survive. And that's what happened with more of my generation and older, is there wasn't any support, and we stored and stuffed emotion because we didn't know how to survive any other way. So it depends on how much you have stored. What I know today, like I always say, it may change tomorrow, but what I know today and what I've been told is, and I know from my own experience, it lessens. And these emotional releases that I could spend 4 to 5 hours in, terrible deep crying because I had so much stored emotion, they become less and less and less. I mean, now I can do one for not even 60 seconds. The thing of it is that I have noticed, and I've heard this from my other clients, you may spend 2 hours with heavy crying at one place in your healing. As you progress, that will get shorter and shorter and shorter. The thing of it is, it seems like as it gets shorter and shorter, the cry gets deeper. It goes to deeper levels of what's stored, but you're able to process it much quicker. So I can go into a very boo-hoo, shake the body, everything moves type cry, but it only lasts 30 seconds or 60 seconds, and I can feel that it was deep stuff that came out, even though I don't even know the episode. And as we all keep evolving, it's not like you ever get through processing. Unless you become Jesus or Buddha or something like that.
But so part of that, when you change your energy, when you're releasing, you're changing all of the molecules and you're changing your energy within your body, and that's also part of the healing process.
Yes.
does that part of the process also take less time to reestablish the new you
Oh, yes,
with
yes.
the energy?
The body is so intelligent, and we don't even give it credit. But the body knows how to heal us. It knows how to keep everything healthy if we only knew how to help it and support it. And it does. As you learn the process, the body can become much more efficient at it because you're there to help support it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And yes, it does become much quicker. And when you have that 2-hour cry and you've released all of that energy out, one of the things she's referring to is because that blockage, that stored emotion is out of your field now, everything that it was affecting in the physical body, it's no longer affecting it. So all these molecules get to say, whoa, what happened to the influence? It's gone. We get to go back to our healthy state now. And that's why, even though all of our cells are redone every 7 years, if you've got this stored energy, they're going to be replenishing in a damaged state because it's got this influence from the stored energy. When that's gone, they can go back to their normal healthy state. The body knows how to stay very healthy and normal for however many years we decide to live. It's us that doesn't know how to work with, as one person called it, we don't know how to interface with the physical body. They were a very tech person. But that's what it amounts to, because it's the same. We come in as an energy being. We're a soul, an energy soul. There's this physical body that we get to have to experience the planet in physical form. But we have to enter this physical body, and we have to be able to interface with it so that we support it and know how to work with it for it to work in its optimum condition. It's no different than the Transformer movies and all the things where the guy crawls in the big suit and he operates it and goes out shooting and walking and everything. He's got to know how to interface with that suit or he can't operate it. It's no different than us being in our power. We have to come in as an energy being, know this physical body, and we're yet to, on this planet, to know the miracles of the physical body. We're still trying to tell it what to do when we're not listening to it. It can regenerate limbs. It can do so many things, but we're not allowing it because our collective doesn't believe it. And when the collective believes something, that has a huge energy, and it controls everything. If we could all tomorrow believe beyond a shadow of a doubt that the body regenerates limbs, this human body would regenerate limbs over and over and over again. You could cut the same arm off 100 times and it would still grow back. But we don't believe it, so it doesn't happen yet. We're the ones that's not interfacing. We're the ones that is holding everything back. So you start releasing less the more that you have released. So in the healing path, you'll release a whole lot more right when you start releasing. Because it takes clients a little while to understand what that process is, how to identify it, and how to allow it to happen. So that depends upon the client, how fast that goes. Then, depending on how much stored emotion they have, that determines how long the intense part's going to be. Once they're able to catch on to the process and work with the body, it can go very, very fast. And then, as the majority gets released, the process, it's less and less and less. And as some of you can attest to in here, right when you think you're getting less and less and less, wham, you'll get hit with a big one. But that's because you're ready to handle it. The body will never give you more than you can handle. Never. You may feel like this is too much and I can't go there, but the body will never give you more than you can handle at a time. It just won't. This is another thing that is so misunderstood. When we're on the healing path and you've got to the point where you're in the actual processing and healing, people, hang on a minute. Okay. So when we're on the path and you start taking classes and you're talking to other people and they're talking about their intuition and they're saying, you know, oh, my intuition said this, or my higher self said this, or my guide said this. Those people, if they're truly connected, are at a different vibrational frequency than someone just coming in. When a person just starts the healing process, it's very rare, there's always exceptions to everything, but it's very rare that they really know and can hear their intuition, or they can hear their higher self, or they can hear their guides, because they have to clear their energy field to get to a place of clarity in order to be able to communicate with the higher beings. Does that make sense? And it is such a misconception because it puts so many people into, well, I'm not there. They'll go to classes and hear everybody talking and no one's ever explained that maybe they're not at that step yet. And they really get down on themselves and they wonder why they can't hear spirit. And why can't I talk? Why can't I hear? Why don't I know what my intuition's saying? And they try, and some of them really try and are very dedicated to wanting that to happen without realizing you've got to clear your energy field and rise to a certain frequency generally before that can happen. There's always exceptions to everything, but as a general rule, that is what keeps people from being able to hear their intuition or talk with spirits or even open their gifts. You literally cannot really open your gifts to the full potential across the board until you have cleared your energy field and you know how to maintain it and hold it. Now, there's always the exceptions, like I said. We had Elvis Presley, we've had so many actors and singers and people that their gift, there was no stopping it. I mean, 2 years old, they were doing it. However, that doesn't mean they didn't have stored emotion. As we well know, many of them had tragic ends. But it was only because they had never learned to interface with the human body and to learn their emotions. Our emotions are our signal code. They're our flags. When you have an emotion, it's something to look at because it's our dashboard lights, like in a car. Our emotions are saying, okay, you have a belief that created a thought that created this emotion. Is this an emotion that you want to continue to have? And a lot of times it is. It's a healthy emotion. And we're going to have low frequency emotions. We're going to have sadness and tears and pain and grief and all of that because we're on a planet of duality. But when we're staying down here, something's going on. Something's not healthy and happy because we should be up here more than we're down here. However, this society teaches us everything opposite of staying up here. It teaches us how to stay down here. So that's part of another responsibility that the warriors are here on the planet right now to help change that. And that's the driving force in a warrior is they know there's things they're supposed to be doing and they don't know exactly what it is. But as they do their healing work, then they become clearer, and all of you are already doing your soul's purpose. It's just that you strive to do more of it. Because you're already role models, you're already influencing people. And we get caught up in the, I want to do more, I'm not doing it, when in fact you are doing it, and you already have everything you need. It's just that we progress in levels. And we're all wanting to be up here when there's no end to up here, and we're forgetting to enjoy the way along. Does that make sense? So you will release less as you go along the path. The thing of it is, it seems like it goes to a deeper level. It's like a lot of people describe it as onion layers. So you take off the top layers and you keep going to the deeper layers. And it's just a deeper release, but it's a much quicker release. In my